Daddy long that guy. And shout out to Red Light Crew.
Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
Yeah, you know what? To define that better, I think the key there is... I just lost my train of thought.
It's embarrassing to play that in front of our guest today. That is footage of Bob Nicholson doing Jason Greger's show. And during Jason Greger's show, Daryl Cates phoned him. And he's got his phone set to like old man mode where it reads the name of who's phoning out. And then he entirely lost his train of thought. That was like the highlight of the last 5 years for us.
It was one of the 10 times Gregor asked him, what is the culture of the Oilers? And he was fumbling his words. And then that happened and it became even worse. It was quite the scene.
We had to put it in our theme song.
Yes.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
This is a very special episode of the Real Life Podcast. We've got one of my favorite Oilers of all time, legit.
Thank
in
you.
the studio with us today, Ladislav Smid, who was an Oiler from 2006 to 2013. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for taking the trouble to come on down.
No problem at all.
We've been sitting here kicking it for 20 minutes, and we were saying, shit, we've said all the interesting stuff already because we were doing good work. We got a lot of interesting stuff to get through today. We want to talk about your career coming into the NHL, coming up through the Czech hockey program and how that worked, being traded to the Oilers. We'll get to that. Time in Edmonton, and then going to the bastard Calgary Flames as a secret sleeper agent that was sent on behalf of Edmonton to destroy the Flames from within. We can get to that later on. But maybe we'll start out with, if you want to talk about your minor hockey career in Czech Republic. So where were you born?
I was born in Liberec, my hometown. Still, I play for them now. But
How many people live there?
like 100,000 people. But you gotta imagine that Czech is only 10 million people as a whole, and like actually my city is I think like the 5th or 6th biggest in Czech, and it's only 100,000 people. But still, like for me, it's like a little village. Everybody knows everybody.
So is it like you start out playing junior, like as a minor hockey league for a club, and you stay with that club the whole way?
Exactly. Yeah. That's how it is. And obviously there's a lot more clubs, but my club is goes from like I don't know, when you're 4 or 5 years old and you stay with them, and lucky enough, the senior team is in the top league too. So that's great for young guys, and all of the like the junior programs. Depends like how old you are. They're in the top leagues, and they're like within like a Czech hockey federation. So it's when you play for our team, it's privilege, and a lot of people want to be on those teams because you have only so many roster spots.
It's almost like soccer. Clubs are really more investing in their players at a younger age and sort of nursing them along through the under.
Yeah, for sure. And the problem now is hockey costs a lot of money, and when I was starting the hockey programs, like whatever age it was like overpacked, like with players like from just our city, that you had like 30 kids playing hockey for each of the programs, like 5, 6, 7. Now the teams, like the bigger teams like our team, they have to go all around Czech to get players to come play for us because there's not enough kids. Yeah, because it's you have other sports that they're much cheaper for parents, like a floor hockey or soccer, so bunch of kids are just lazy these days. They just want to play video games and stuff.
Is Fortnite available? I'll play that.
I never got into it, thank God, because I've heard it hurts some guys' careers, not just in hockey but in soccer. You read all over Europe that guys are staying up till 3 a.m. to play Fortnite. If I stay up till 3 a.m., I'm doing different.
Yeah, you're having fun. You're bonding with your teammates. You're doing team building shit.
Exactly. I couldn't say it better.
Like there's teams that have banned that kind of stuff just because of the distraction it is.
Well, they should.
Oh.
I mean.
Do you think so? It's better not to be in the hotel room on the road playing Fortnite with teammates. It's better to be in the clubs.
But they're playing till like 4 in the morning every night.
I'm saying like especially before the game, the night before the game, just go to sleep, like watch a movie, have dinner with your teammates. Like that's what we did. Like have a dinner with your teammates, have a beer or like glass of wine, and go back. Like whatever. Like you don't have to stay. Like you gotta be a little disciplined now to then just stay till 3 a.m. and fuck. like play some dumb game. Like I might get crucified by people because it's like a religion for them. But honestly, like you have a job to do, and tons of people would kill to do that job. What you're doing something you love. Then you are so careless that you play a video game till 3 a.m. or like 5 a.m. and then you have a huge game. 20,000 people is gonna watch you, and like you're tired and. Just because of game, like
well, yeah, it was really bad in the NBA when teams were showing up to practice and it like the rookies, all the kids that were like 21 and under, they were showing up and they were visibly tired, and their coaches were wondering why can't they practice? Like why is this happening every day? And they found out it was Fortnite.
Yeah.
And so that's why in the NBA, most teams will not let them play that.
But honestly, like I would be terrified. Like when I started in the NHL, I would be terrified to show up because of thing like this or. Just show up like tired, show up in front of like guys like Steve Staios or Jason Smid.
I think they isn't here to hear about your video game addiction. He's
man, he
will
honestly,
beat it out of you if you have one.
I honestly would feel like he would rip my head off. Like I would be scared. My dad would kill me. Like growing up, my dad, he played hockey and he was. Did
he play for the same club that you did?
No, a different club, but it was like part of the. It was like part of the government, like an army club. So they were really good for a long time, and they won a bunch of titles. But it was like based on discipline, like everything. So when I was growing up, it was all about fucking discipline. Like he would like here in Canada, like he would smack me and like shit like that. Well, that's just like
he was behind the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, that's like just like the culture in Czech, and back in the day was even worse. Like he's a great dad. Like he taught me a lot, and he taught me discipline, but. Obviously you fuck up sometimes, and like so I got the belt or whatever, and I was training with him like for a couple of summers because he was a coach after his playing career, and so I was like I didn't have a trainer, so my dad was like, okay, I'll train you. Like I knew what to do. I had a program what to do at the gym, but like I like to run and like ride bikes, so he made the program. And a couple times, like I showed up during the week hungover, like young guy, stupid.
Had you already been drafted at this point?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're in the NHL.
Yeah, I was in the NHL.
So you've arrived.
I have arrived.
And you've elected to train with your dad.
Yeah.
Perhaps a mistake in looking back.
Man, I showed up hungover, and it's like my mom saw me like in the morning. It's like maybe she goes to. It's like maybe not the right time to train. It's like fuck no. It's like if he can drink, he can go through. It's like. Of course, he added like 30% on top of everything we did. Almost like I stopped drinking during the week because it was a punishment. Like it was like I was basically on my force, like thinking about throwing up, and it was terrible. So hopefully, kids are not listening to this because
no one listens.
Hockey players,
don't worry, laddie, no
drink.
one's listening.
But he taught me a lesson like this way, and like so it's all about the discipline. Like stuff like this is like mentioning the Fortnite or like come on, like especially you have arrived in the NHL, like something like millions of hockey players dream of. Like I know like with my teammates in Czech, some of them are like looking up to me because they want to play in the NHL or they wanted to play in the NHL, and it's gone for them, but I guess it's cool for them to play with someone who experienced it, and
they see what it takes. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it's harder in 2019 to come into the NHL now or in 2009, pre-social media sort of, pre-Fortnite sort of, pre-Tinder, pre-all the apps that make life like so easy for these lazy fucking kids?
Man, there's like a lot more destruction for sure. Now you got to be way more careful. You don't have any privacy. I feel bad for guys, It wasn't as bad when I was coming in.
Are you so happy Insta wasn't a thing when you were coming up?
Oh my god, yeah. Actually, I'm not huge in social media.
Yeah.
Still, I like my privacy and and all of that. I feel bad for kids these days because the league is getting younger. A lot of you're much younger getting into the league and you're kind of inexperienced. I'm sure some of the like higher draft picks they are getting trained for it for
social media.
Yeah, for social media. I'm sure to not get into it or not get into trouble, but it's still like it's got to be hard. You're still 18, 19-year-old. You're a kid. You're not
Well,
a man.
and as much of it as it's a self-destruction type of thing where they can do it to themselves, you not being on social media, it's still a matter of like somebody else doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody taking a video of you at a bar doing a shot and it just looks wrong. You know what I mean? Or you might be stumbling out of a bar late night. It's not a matter of always what they're doing to themselves. It's a matter of what everybody around them is now capturing way more videos, and anything can be posted. And it's like, it's got to be a killer. And I don't know how anybody...
It is a killer.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot really enjoy yourself anymore. You know, like you're living in this little box because you're scared that somebody's going to see your, like, you know, it's...
Is it like that in the Czech Republic for your teammates still? Like, are they all on social? Are they having...
Oh, yeah, like everybody's on social
DMs,
media. I don't...
in the DMs, they're famous.
Yeah, it's not... Like, obviously, NHL is on a different scale, but
they're Czech famous.
But Czech famous, yeah, for sure. Like, you're a known person, but for sure it's more dangerous in the NHL. Like social media is big in Czech, but not compared to North America.
Okay.
North America is insane. Like, people are. I feel like. Like, everybody posts their life on
The life
social.
that they want you to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, don't you like just live your life? Like, how much time of the day does it? Like, I would rather live my life and enjoy my kids than spend my fucking 8 hours on the phone just fucking trying to convince somebody that my life is so fucking great.
Well, but also there's the fact that your life is insanely great, right? If you're a 19-year-old and you're like, guess what? I borrowed my dad's Infinity on the weekend, and I took it downtown, and I spent 4 hours flexing on the hood, taking my photos, right? Those are like the tryhards, right? Your lives are like the flip, right? Where all of a sudden, how old were you when you came to Anaheim?
I was 19.
Yeah. I
was
so
19,
you
and
arrive,
then-
and you're like, holy shit. I just left the Czech Republic.
Yeah, it was like for the first time, like, living without my parents, basically. And it's like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? But great experience. It's better when somebody like, but again, it wasn't social media. It wasn't that dangerous.
Yeah.
But like, living your life wise, just throwing you out there was the best thing ever happened to me.
So you went to Rochester, correct?
No,
sorry.
Portland.
Portland,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah. In Portland.
Portland,
Was that good to get a year in the A?
Yeah, and I was lucky enough that my coach was Kevin Deneen, who helped me tons. Like, I can thank him enough. Like, I love that guy. Just old school guy. You know, great character. I had a great year.
Did you feel a lot of pressure when you're? Is your 9th pick overall?
Yeah.
Were they good at?
I wasn't like some kind of pressure, more from like the guys would talk about, like, in lockers, like he was like such a high pick, but from a coaching staff, not really. Like, they knew, or the management, they knew I needed some time to adjust. The biggest issue was the language. You know, like.
So that was going to be my question. Was we kind of related to Jesse Puljujarvi here. Now we've seen Nel Yakupov go through it. When you came here, what kind of was your language barrier problem? Did you have a Czech teammate that you just stumbled upon that helped you with it? Kind of, what was that like at the beginning?
I was also lucky. I had Igor Pohanka. He was Slovakian, so he helped me. He helped me get set up with a bunch of stuff. In Portland, yeah. But like, for me, it was very important to be part of the locker room talk. You know, like, you don't know. You don't know what's going on. Like, it's awkward. Like, you're just quiet. It's basically
they might think that you're being kind of like an outcast, or like just kind of quiet, but it's really that you want to be involved, but you can't. So that's the next thing. So the team hired a teacher for me, and they
that's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Helpful.
Oh, really good.
Yeah.
That's a.
Like a
You're
language,
willing to,
like
you're,
a language tutor?
Yeah. I had to read like fucking kids' books, and holy fuck. Like, it was for me, like, it. For people, it would seem dumb, but for me, it was very important. And I was watching also movies with subtitles, and like just trying really hard. And then you're in a locker room, and you pick up a lot of stuff. So within like few months, obviously my English wasn't perfect. It was still not, but it's.
Do you speak? Your English is great now. Do you speak any languages other than Czech and English?
No,
Yeah.
just this. Yeah, so it helped me. Locker room talk helped me, and then you go for beers, like, or dinners with your teammates, and like, kind of like, I felt the second part of the season was much more enjoyable for me because I felt like part of the team, and they accepted me. They wanted the biggest thing is they see you trying. You know, if they see a guy who is like, keeps to himself, like he doesn't really socialize and stuff like that, they reject you. But they saw I really tried to go for lunches, dinners with them, go for beers, whatever. And Brian Burke was was the GM in Anaheim, and that's what he encouraged me to do. It was like usually they tell you not to drink or fucking don't go after broads. It's like he was the opposite. He's like, I need you to socialize with the
sir.
teammates.
Well, yeah, it helps out total team chemistry. When these guys see you trying, it makes them want to help you even more too. So now you don't just have the guys that maybe the Slovakian that you said earlier or somebody helping. Now these guys are all helping you, and it's huge for that bonding and like just getting you to be more comfortable. Because if you're comfortable, you're gonna play better. Like it's
for sure. Yeah. It's all about like you said, feeling comfortable. And even on the ice, it started like somebody would rock me and nobody would really give a fuck. But then as the season went on, like guys saw like I'm trying, like I'm learning new stuff, because in Czech it was like a non-contact basically, not too much, not that physical like in A. So guys would like stand up for me, and it was really nice to see. I really felt like part of the team, and it was a great year, great experience for me. I play with some great players, and like a lot of them play in the NHL.
Now, to comment, like I think that's amazing and kind of like a testament to your character that you wanted to put in the effort to be a teammate, get involved in the room there. The question I want to ask about that is, new to a new world, learning a different game, trying to get in with the team. That tipping point once the team kind of like got behind you and started embracing you. Did that also like did you notice like your play change as well? Like you felt more comfortable, you started performing better?
So I had really good start, like made bunch of points and stuff, and like I was like, maybe I'm gonna get called up, but little did I know, fucking like they had a plan.
We had a plan too, but we'll get to that plan. We're watching. We're like, okay, let's get him get his year in the A. Then we're gonna take him. We need him here. Yeah.
And so after that, after like first 15 games, I cooled off and like hit like a rough patch. A lot of rookies go through it, but then like things like started to tip over again, because I started to learn the language and felt more comfortable, and the team was behind me, and of course like I felt then you go to the games and you have zero distraction. The worst thing is if you're thinking, does he like me, or like he's not really, they doesn't feel like I'm part of the team, they think I'm this European pussy, like a lot of guys thought that. For sure, like when you feel comfortable, you feel part of the team, everything is like kind of falling into places. I think I started to play more like a North American player, not just like a European. Like started to like hit a little bit more, like being physically involved, which is like a big part, being able to make it to the NHL, to make the next step.
Now, I kind of want to jump back, because I felt like we kind of jumped far into the kind of the pro level, going back to Czech, being a kid that's wanting to play hockey. At what age level did you all of a sudden or did the club realize like, holy shit, we got a star in our hands here? At what age did that kind of happen?
Well, I was always like going with like a year older, kind of throughout my younger age. I'd say when I was like 13, 14, then I started to get like called up for like a national team under 16 and under 17, and I was even in those ages I was with like a year older, and so I think at that time, and then really when I started to believe I could like make it somewhere like high up in the draft, like I made it to the under 20 World Championship, but 1984, and I'm 86, so I played 3.
So you don't wear a full cage.
Yeah, I was. And I had these. Yeah, so but at that time.
So sorry, what year of the World Juniors was that?
2003, 4, 3 Helsinki it was.
Okay.
And
Can we confirm your Ramcheck? Yeah. Nice.
yeah, so yeah, but that year I started to play for our top league senior team. I was 16, and I played few games at the end of the year, and then when I was 17, I played like fully on the team. So that helped me, and the coach from under 20, the head coach, he saw me. I guess he liked what he saw. He gave me a few tournaments, and he named me on the team, and that was a huge experience. Fuck, like all of a sudden you still read about these like guys when you're like growing up, and they're gonna be high up in the draft, like Getzlaff, Perry, Brent Burns. He was a forward there.
Yeah.
Like Shea Weber and like fuck.
Yeah,
all of a sudden you're like
that was like the super teams.
yeah, it was insane making it there, and yeah, full cage. Had these fucking wooden sticks.
Way more than you did,
the
probably.
The fucking team wouldn't buy me the carbon sticks back then. It was like, you're too young. You can still
Using
play
the
with a
old
wooden stick.
Using the old Louisville's, like the old Sherwoods.
No, I had like what the
Like a weird Czech brand.
yeah, Lion. It was called Lion. It was Czech brand. Yeah,
made
it
of
was
cement.
It was so heavy. And then at the tournament, because the tournament has like deals with the companies, like CCM sponsorships. They made me spray over it, so it was even heavier. It was insane.
And
it's like I found one. I was trying to compare it with these like warrior sticks I have. I was like, fuck. And the young guy, like I was pretty weak. It's like, how did I ever fucking play
You think
with
they
that?
could have just given you some sticks for the tournament?
No shit.
When you were 13, or was it 12, was it your first time in Canada when you came to play for the PB tournament in Quebec?
Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec. Yeah.
So was that like was that just one Czech team, national team, best kids from Czech, or was that your club team that won?
I think we were under like Chomutov, which is like a club, but they brought kids from all over Czech, and I think they still do it.
They still do that. Well, yeah, like so. I think in Edmonton they still pick a team that will just go. Like the winner of kind of the city of Edmonton thing would go to it at that age group, right? But I didn't know how they picked it for like the Czech team, whether or not it was you played the best teams from all around, and then your team.
They just picked like selective like
kids.
Yeah, select kids like who they like. I don't know.
And what did you think of it?
It was good experience.
Playing in the Colisée with all the fans.
Yeah, it was cool. Like I was so nervous though.
Was that
like,
your first time as a kid that you're like, I think I might be ready for this type of excitement in my
No,
life?
because I didn't have a very good tournament. I don't
Okay.
think like everybody was expecting I'm gonna excel at this, and like I was so nervous. I remember it. So there were so many fans. It's like, oh fuck! I basically
Signing autographs?
Shit the bed. Yeah.
Had you signed autographs before that point?
No, never.
Yeah.
And it's always weird. Did you ever go back and did you ever keep any of the programs maybe and look at some of the kids that you played and see if they maybe in your same draft year, like
No,
whether or
not from the PB tournament. No,
No.
and
It would be
and
interesting 'cause
I regret it
a
because
lot of-
it would be so cool.
It would be because a lot of NHL players I know around that time might have been in like I don't exactly know your draft year, but like I know in that time in Edmonton, a lot of kids that were going to that tournament were getting drafted, playing in the NHL. You
Yeah,
know,
that's it's really cool. Well, it's the best tournament at that age group, right? Like in the world, basically for hockey players, and it was really cool. But just even like going across the ocean and seeing the culture, and
Was that your first time in North America?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
So
it was-
you'd have been like 12 or 13.
yeah, 12 or
young,
something
yeah.
like that, yeah. Cool, really, really cool.
So getting into hockey, obviously your dad would be a hockey idol, but like who was your like NHL hockey idol, or was it a Czech player?
I had two. Obviously, Nicklas Lidstrom. Fuck, I was so fortunate.
Is that why number 5?
No, I had number 15.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
get to it.
Okay.
So Nick, best defenseman in the history of hockey. Honestly, there's other players I like, but he's just on a pedestal.
It's tough to argue that.
I remember one time here, I drove him in my car from restaurant, I think, to his hotel. There was like Henrik Zetterberg was in the car, and Nicklas Lidstrom.
Where was this?
This was after the game, and I went to Joey's back when Joey's was Joey's from
Okay.
Jasper, and I saw him there. And Yuri Hudler, my buddy,
Yeah.
he was on the team, so I gave them a ride. But Nick Lidstrom was sitting next to me. I was like, holy fuck. This is like, I was already in the league for like 5-6 years. It's like, holy fuck.
You get the Trump Center, nobody cares about you.
No, I called my dad right now. I was like, Dad, you won't fucking believe it. He was in my car. Like, never gonna watch that fucking scene.
Oh, unreal.
No, yeah, it was unreal. So Nick Lidstrom, and I was fortunate enough I got to play against him. You know, like you see these like huge names like that I never got to play against, and you know, and now it's true that the young guys are coming up, and I would love to play against them, but I'm never gonna get to. But whatever. But Nick Lidstrom was my biggest idol, and then Tomáš Kaberle.
Yeah.
That's why I wore 15 growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really like him, and I got to play with him for national team in the same D pair. So it was like.
Was that in like World Championships or Olympics?
So I got first call to the national team when I was, I think, like 17 or 18, and that was lockout year. So all the NHL players were there. It was during the season. So Židlicky, Kaberle, and like these big names, Jagr and those guys. Yeah, and they put me for a game with Tomáš Kaberle. So I was like, holy shit! This is then I played with him for a national team for some years, you know, but that was the first time I was like idolizing him too.
Did he just like dominate the game?
He was real, like, yeah, he was playing at that time. He was playing for Toronto, and you know, he was amazing.
Didn't he have a really short stick?
Short, like this, and I had really short stick because of that too.
Oh.
And he always like carried, you know, like. You won't believe it, but I was really skilled growing up in Czech. Then I came here, I was like, holy fuck, this guy can fucking stick handle. It's fucking life.
It's because Steve Staios dug his claws in you for a good reason. We'll talk about that in a bit. But
yeah, it was, so I kind of like tried to copy Tomáš Kaberle. He was an amazing player, really good puck mover, smooth skater, you know, with his head always up, you know. Fuck, they could talk about him in Toronto, like Brian McCabe. You know, yeah. he you know, I think Tomáš made him a really good contract, and nothing to take away from Brian McCabe. He was a hell of a player. Yeah. But Tomáš was like really smart, you know, distributing puck for the big shot.
It's how Ryan Whitney always praises Sidney Crosby for getting his long-term deal.
As he should. I would like to see Ryan Whitney. Fuck. Love that guy.
So, sorry, and Nick Lidstrom. Obviously, yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, arguably the best defenseman ever to play the game. You got to share the rink, the ice with him at the NHL level. Like, what was that like?
Amazing. Just his presence on the ice, you know.
Could you feel his presence on the ice?
Of course. Like yeah. It's. I don't know how to describe it. Like you're, like I didn't want to stare at him too much, but you kind of tend to. Yeah. You know, when you're sitting on the bench, like watching him, like the stuff he was doing, and like how effortlessly he was doing it, and then you hear, you know, Jiri Hudler play with him, so you hear the off-ice stuff, like how professional he is, how he carries himself, great guy, great leader, just a total package. Like teams are lucky to get guys like that, and especially Detroit is doing something right. They had so many of guys like that, you know, like Steve Yzerman, you know, guys like that. Just
they don't grow on trees.
Yeah. They don't, and they all play their careers. Their whole careers they played there.
Yeah.
When you're playing with a guy like Tomáš Kaberle and you idolized him, and this is a guy you're looking up to, do you get a chance to kind of take in the moment and enjoy it, or are you just trying not to fuck up and make sure that you're doing your best you possibly can?
Obviously you're trying not to fuck up, but yeah, I took several moments, and like it's just so surreal. Like you're this kid going to high school, and all of a sudden you're playing for a national team with your idol. It's crazy, but at the same time, when you like, you know your name on that team like 2 weeks prior, so you're like so amped up, obviously nervous, but you're like thinking about it's like the dream is coming true. And then when you're there, you're just focusing on your job and like not to fuck up, because fuck, you have around the guys that they were around me were NHL players, right? And like pretty big stars too. Some of them huge stars.
For sure.
And yeah, so you're trying not to fuck up, and you're trying to make it look like you belong, kind of thing. Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back right after this with Ladislav Smid, Real Life Podcast.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
We're back. Real Life Podcast. Ladislav Smid in the house. This is very interesting. This is a great chat. It's nice talking to you. Before, in the first part of the show, we were kind of talking about your climb into the NHL, and when we kind of left, we were in the AHL. You're playing in Portland. You think you have about a year ahead of you in the AHL in the Anaheim program, and then it happened. So I'll tell you about, as an Oilers fan, what was happening for us, and then when our paths intersect. So 06 Cup run, Pronger gets signed. Pekka, the Oilers all of a sudden have like upgraded as a defensive forward, and they've got probably one of the top 2 defensemen in the game. It is like crazy town time in Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
Guy signs a 5-year deal. I remember they did a press conference. Me and Jay, we were on houseboats. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Chris Pronger and Mike Pekka are now Oilers. We're like, should we swim to shore? Like, what the fuck, right? This is like the craziest thing that ever happened.
Yeah, of course.
They do the 1 year. They grind all the way to the Cup finals. And like, Cinderella teams are always the most exciting, I think, right? Because it's so crazy.
Oh, for sure.
But even among Cinderella runs, that was still one of the craziest Cup runs any team's ever had. Edmonton's running out of beer. We're the drunkest people you could ever meet in your life. We're the happiest people you could ever meet in your life.
Can just imagine.
And then it goes from like 07 or 7th game, fail to win the Cup. We won't say we lost. We'll just say we won't win. I cried for the first time since grade 6. My girlfriend broke up with me that night, legit, because I was crying so hard about the Oilers losing the Stanley Cup. And then it just went to shit so fast.
Yeah.
And it was like, started off with Chris Pronger wants to leave town. This is pre-social media, pre-Oilers Nation. You're getting like a one-way street of information. Mm-hmm. And then everybody wants to leave. Down to like Todd Harvey wants to leave. Todd Harvey's like, you know what? Fuck Edmonton. We're all like, why? What did we ever do to you? You played here for like 30 games and you went in a Cup run.
Spacek signed in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? Samsonov.
I know Spager.
I'm like, Samsonov, this guy's going to be a good Oiler forever and ever, amen. Bounces.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think I've ever seen a Game 7 Stanley Cup team dismantled that quickly.
Yeah, you're right, probably.
13 players left that offseason.
It's insane.
And you were one of the guys who came back.
Holy fuck. If you would have put it like that to me back then, I would probably shit the bed.
I'm not reporting to Edmonton.
I'm stressed right now.
Do you remember where you were when you got the news that this trade went down and that you would be coming to Edmonton?
Yeah, Brian Burke called me. I was at the bar. He can tell you the whole story. I was drunk.
You're in the bar and check?
I was in the bar in the check. Yeah, he called me. It's like Laddie, it's pretty loud out there. I was like, yeah. I was like, shh. It's like
it's Chemical Brothers. It's 2006.
He's like, just get out. It's like, hey, we traded you, and you're going to Edmonton. So he's like talking. I was like, what's the package? He's like, yeah. Chris Pronger, and then he starts talking. It's like, I got traded for Chris Pronger. I remember that, and he remembers that too. He could tell the story probably a little better. He can remember it probably better. But yeah, it's crazy. He's like, no, Laddie, there is more to this deal. There's more players. Like, but it was.
Joffrey Lupul's involved. Yeah, who cares about Joffrey Lupul?
Seriously,
me 1 for 1 for Pronger.
Oh man, it was crazy. Like kind of surreal because in my mind I set a goal that I'm gonna make the Anaheim's team next year, hopefully, but didn't happen. And then I started learning about Edmonton. I got phone calls from Edmonton management, and
Did you feel like the opportunity that you had in front of you changed? Becoming an Oiler.
I talked to Frank Musil, was working for Edmonton at that time, so he called me immediately too, and he explained to me it's gonna be a big opportunity next year. A bunch of defensemen left, and. And like what I read on the internet and stuff, was a lot of pressure on Edmonton. You're trading like you said, one of the top 3 defensemen in the game at that time. And So I felt like that would be a great opportunity. So I worked extremely hard that summer, like any other summer, but set my goals making the NHL. But even when I made it, I remember when McT called me in his office and he broke the news, and I still couldn't believe it.
When you made the team.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Tell us about that. How late into camp was that?
Yeah. Like I guess like
it was like the last couple of days of the.
Yeah.
So they were calling people. Some of them were leaving. So I'm like, oh fuck. Didn't like I had pretty good preseason, but I
So
still
you played in a bunch of preseason games at this point.
I did, and it was like in Anaheim the year before they gave me one preseason game, and then I went here and I don't know how many I played, 5, 6 more, like a lot. So I was like, they got to be testing me but still I was kind of new to this whole process. Some guys go through it every year, until like they're like 24, 25, 26, like you mentioned Matt Hendricks, and so I was kind of new to this and I didn't know what to feel,
Did you come to camp being like, I'm making the Oilers, this is going to happen?
I had it in my head,
Yeah.
like I wanted to so bad.
Yeah.
But when it come to like naming the team and like making the team, I was still like, is it gonna happen? No. And then McT was like,
So MacT calls you in. Do you remember?
yeah, man.
So he got like a little funny office at the old arena?
I think Jan Heda at that time
wow.
was here too.
Yeah.
And I think we both got called
Together.
together.
There was 5 Czechs in total on that team.
Yeah.
There was Heda, you, Sikora, Hemsky, and Nedved.
Nedved came during the year though.
Oh, halfway?
Yeah, halfway through the
He
year.
showed up in like a Lamborghini with 2 supermodels on each arm. And he's like, whatever, I'm Peter Nedved. Get in fucking line.
That's in Prague. And I think he rolls in the Rolls Royce right
Does
now.
he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I want to come back to that.
This is one of the most interesting people in the world.
One of the things I want to know as an Oilers fan, this completely got anything to do with anything, but like there's got to be guys like Hemsky and Fedorov and Nedved and Bure, and they're back in the old country now, living like a warlord. Like I've got my 10 years in the show, and I'm Hemsky. I don't even know where he.
Hammer is in Dallas.
He's still staying there.
Yeah. He's got Brazilian, Canadian, American-ish wife, and they have kids. They live in Dallas. They love it there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but Hammer enjoys.
Because who did we hear about? Oh, Timu came back the one year and he got like a $75,000 speeding ticket in the off season, and like guys who go home to the old country in the off season, but they're like superstars, and then come back to North America and they're like only superstars.
Yeah.
Who have you seen in Europe that you're like, this guy's 10 times more famous than when he played in the NHL? Like Lundqvist, I heard, is like that.
Like Peter Nedved. Like,
yeah?
Peter Nedved was a big star, but in Czech it's like different level.
Still.
Yeah, and he's handsome as fuck.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so he draws attention.
He's got it going on.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that style.
Yeah, he was married to like supermodel Veronika Varekova, I think was her name.
Yeah.
She is smoke show, and like it didn't work out, but yeah, he's a great guy. Like you can go for beers with him. Great guy, he gets lots of attention, and he's got a great,
And he rolls up to the club in a Rolls Royce.
He's got like every year different car, like Bentley, Ferrari.
What's he doing? Just counting his money in the off season? Like,
He was working for. He's a general manager of the national team now. He's a great guy, great to talk to. He's like kind of like free spirited, like it's fun to hang out with him. And they have like a group with Marty Ruchinsky and like those guys, Peter Prucha, and they hang out. But when they go out, it's like holy fuck.
Traffic.
Do you see
Yeah,
them?
there's
Like,
girls fucking hanging in front of trees. It's like a fucking, it's insane. Yeah.
like, is he one of those guys when you see him, he's got like that like aura around
Oh
him?
yeah.
You just feel it?
He's
Oh.
got a great personality.
That's
Funny
awesome.
guy. Like I said, like free spirited. Like, I don't think he ever had a fucking stress in his life. Like, he looks like happy and stuff.
And he's gone full Silver Fox now, too, by the way.
I'm telling you, he's
Unbelievable.
touch of gray, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
He is. He's. I don't want to say I'm jealous of him, but
I'm jealous.
I don't want to tell you I'm in love with Peter
Yeah,
Nedved, but
pretty
I might
close.
be in love with Peter Nedved.
pretty close. Yeah, he's a stud.
So we rewind back. So you come to the Oilers, and MacT calls you in, and he
With
says,
Heda.
with Heda, and he says you're on the team.
Yeah.
Is it like go get a house you're on the team, or go get one of those weird shady hotels you rent by the month on the team?
I don't remember it exactly, but I don't think they told me. I think it was it took like a month, I think, before you get a letter that you're staying officially, and then you can get a house. I think that's how it was. It's kind of blurry because the excitement overshadows everything else. You don't think about. Thank God for my agent here, Steve Kotlowitz. He took care of a lot of stuff for me, but it was like I almost blacked out when MacT told me. I was walking fuck. I dreamt about this my whole life.
One of the things I think is really crazy comparing being a professional athlete to being someone in business, for example. It's very rarely in business at that young of an age is it that thing you invented, the artificial heart. Now you're a trillionaire.
Yeah.
Whereas as an athlete, having one conversation with MacT, your life has now changed.
Oh, for sure.
It can change.
But you don't think about the money at all.
Not necessarily the money,
yeah.
but just the amount of success that you're having, the road your career is on, changes so much with one conversation.
It's like you said, life changing. I can't even describe it.
What'd you do when you left the room? Did you call your dad?
Oh yeah, my parents first, and my dad
He's that's why I was mean to you, laddie. We did it.
So proud. Even now, hopefully he's proud of me. I think he tells me once in a while. Back in the day, he would never fucking tell me. Now he's getting older, so he's more sentimental, and so he once in a while he says that. But at that time he was very proud of me.
Did you feel a big weight released off your shoulders, or did you feel I
for
more
sure
pressure?
had tears in my eyes when he told me, and not in front of MacT because they feed up that. It's fucking soft. But when I talked to my parents over Skype, they both cried.
Do you remember going out for a big night out or something that night? How did you celebrate that letter that you are officially?
I think after the camp, it's normal that you go for some beers. I don't think it was nothing that crazy because I was already thinking about the season that I'm gonna be starting season, and it was against Calgary too.
I think the way your brain has to be built to make it in the NHL, being told you're drafted isn't the end, it's the beginning.
Yeah, it
being
is.
told you're on the team isn't the end of your climb. Now I made it. It's oh shit, now I made it.
Yeah.
Now I got to get ready to actually be here.
And stay.
Yeah.
You have so many guys fucking waiting for the opportunity.
So now I got to ask this question because I'm really interested in this type of thing. But at some point, your first NHL check arrives that isn't your signing bonus. So you went to the draft, very exciting, signed your entry-level contract deal. But at some point now, you're an Oiler, your check arrives. Did you buy a fur toilet or a gold bathrobe? Or did you weld a Lamborghini to a Bentley and drive it around as some sort of weird?
Nothing like that.
Nothing?
No, nothing. I had probably a little shopping addiction to a fashion. I like nice clothes, so that was probably my problem.
But that's reasonable.
Reasonable, but no, I never...
Did you buy a house back home?
Not at that time.
No?
Well, it's not you
nothing.
get the first check and it's
No, but you can start to think, right?
Well, you can start to think, but
I'm going to buy
not-
10 Rolexes.
Yeah.
And look at me,
you
everybody. I'm
tip
Soldier
down
Boy.
deposits.
No,
down
nothing like
payments and
that.
stuff.
Just like a nice clothes, but that was about it. I didn't buy any new cars or anything.
You didn't lease 10 Benzes the first day you showed
No,
up?
no.
I want one for every day and a couple of options on the weekend?
I like nice things, but not crazy or anything.
You're smart about
it. I was raised certain way. Sure. And for sure, once in a while, I spend money on something stupid or bought myself a nice car, but not like Ferrari or
What have you done since now? We can talk about now. Older laddie, wise laddie. What have you done that you remain proud of? I bought myself a silver Lamborghini and it's in my garage till I'm dead. And fuck you if you want to judge me. What have you done? What'd you buy yourself that you're this is because I earned it?
Porsche Panamera.
Nice.
Yeah, nice car.
Back home or here?
Yeah, but back home.
Yeah.
Back home, and I was I deserve it for the contract I signed with the Oilers, the 4-year deal, and I was I deserve it, and nice car.
Are you gonna keep it till you're old?
I already sold it.
Oh,
I already sold
is that your Sunday car?
Yeah, bought myself more like a family car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that was
The
about it.
four-door Panamera.
Yeah, that's why I was it's got to be a little bit. I was planning ahead.
More responsible.
More responsible. I wanted the 911, but I got to be a little more responsible.
We were talking to a buddy who played for the Caps, and we're talking about watching guys who come into the NHL blow all their money, and then watching guys who come to the NHL who are a seventh man D, and they're I just bought my first nice suit, and I'm 26 or whatever, and everything in between. And he was saying that they shared a practice facility with the Wizards. And he's like, there's pickup trucks when the Caps are there. There's a couple Benzes or whatever. Then the Wizards come in the practice facility. It's like 2-car Lamborghini convoy. 8 guys get out. Like, the difference between NHL players and NBA players and spending patterns is... And the money they make, too.
The salaries are a little bit
Yeah.
different, but yeah, the spending, I can just imagine.
Did you ever see anybody, you don't have to name them, but you were just like, oh, man, you better slow down. Like, you don't need 15 sterling silver eyeglasses.
I've seen. I cannot name,
Don't
but
name names, but just what they did that's funny.
yeah, just spending on like a jewelry and like you seen them wear it once in a while and like it doesn't even hold its value or on the cars and like blowing through cars. Like I got like 2-3 guys that
Cars
I remember,
doing?
yeah, cars and one guy like really jewelry and just like the whole lifestyle, like yeah.
It's easier probably being in like Edmonton or Calgary to kind of keep it real.
Yeah.
Whereas
In
if you're
Florida.
playing for like the Rangers and you're going out with like Lindsay Lohan or some shit,
and you're
right?
renting a place for like $60,000 a month.
Yeah,
just to stay close to the rink.
Yeah.
And we don't hear about how like hockey players have that big of entourages, but was there ever a guy had like 4 or 5 friends just always around and you were just like, oh my God, buddy.
Never.
See, it's just a different culture, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I know Yuri Hudler. He had like a one buddy who came like once in a while. Not even interest. They were just like a childhood friends, and
Yeah.
you know that was about it. But like really good buddies. He wasn't like living off him or anything, and he would help him all the time. But they were just really really good buddies.
Yeah.
Remember,
I couldn't even like that was more like family than friends, but. Yeah, like he's saying, like in NBA or they have like 5-6 people living with them or something. I can imagine.
Remember
like,
Mario,
I want to be alone sometime.
Yeah, no doubt.
Remember Mario down in Dallas was driving around the limo?
That wasn't his name.
Wasn't his name?
Jonesy. Oh
No, Mario, the driver.
Sorry, the driver.
Of the Stars limo.
Turco's limo.
Yeah. Turco had a guy, we went down to visit a buddy one time, and he was like, the only guy I've ever seen with an entourage, but it was so smart. He had a guy who just drove around a limo with a giant Dallas Stars logo on the carpet. And it was just like the shuttle bus for the team. And Turco drove it around everywhere. And he goes, that guy saved me from more problems than you'd ever imagine. Like,
Really?
He drives me around. He waits outside every bar. And he makes sure I get home in bed at night. And I was like, you know what? If you're Marty Turco and you got that guy, that's probably a good
It's an
investment.
insurance policy.
For sure.
Really? That's
For sure. Just to keep him out of jams, right?
Yeah.
That's
Turco
a
had
great
it going
idea.
on. Oh, he had a long-term deal too, right?
Yeah.
So you become an Oiler. You show up. What did you hear about the Oilers prior to arriving? Like, because you hadn't played them, you were playing in the A. Was it like everyone in Edmonton's crazy and all they eat is snow? Like, what did you hear about Edmonton?
Well,
and Oilers fans?
I knew about the city that very cold.
Colder than home in Czech?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's the
Much
climate
colder.
like?
Well,
You have winters.
yeah, we have winters,
Yeah.
but last probably like now they're even milder than it used to be. But yeah, like we get winter for like 4 months,
Okay.
5 max.
Here it's a comfortable
it gets-
11 months of winter in Edmonton. We enjoy the last month.
Well, the difference is, which is nice here, the winter here is dry. It's very humid in Czech. So when you get like -10 and humid, it's kind of
Different kind of cold.
different kind of cold. Like it gets under your skin. But still, yeah, it doesn't get -40 or whatever happened here this winter.
Oh,
was it
yeah,
like the
it was-
coldest winter in like 70 years or
Yes, it
something?
was something else.
Yeah, insane. But yeah.
So you heard it's cold, and you heard
cold,
the fans though. What
oil business. I heard fans are crazy over their team. It's hockey city.
Yeah.
It's like a religion. So like only positive things. And at that time, my agent lived here. So as soon as I got traded, like he kind of talked me through it, and he lived here for a long period.
Was
of
that a
time here.
coincidence, or did you pick an agent?
No, it was coincidence.
Really?
Like I already had him in when I was with Adam. But Rich Winter was part of Rich Winter's company, TSC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were based in Edmonton.
Well, so that helps when you get here, and then you have like a built-in like structure.
And I lived with him. I lived.
Yeah,
with my
because I was going to
agent.
ask you who you live with right off the bat. So
I lived with
that's huge.
my agent for a few months, and they helped me big time. And
That's
I'm
huge
still,
support.
Yeah, they're like my family now, and still in contact with his sons. And
So I remember. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, I just want to take. So when you moved out of your agent on your own, did you live with another teammate?
No, I lived with my my girlfriend for a bit,
Okay.
but she kind of went, came and went.
Okay.
But yeah, I was pretty independent, I guess. But
All grown up.
So I remember when you first came, we're reeling from 2006, right? The world has come to an end. Like, the bottom fell out of the floor. We're like, well, maybe we'll still make the playoffs. Holy fucking shit. I don't know. This is all going so wild. But I remember you coming, and I remember Steve Staios taking you under his wing. Mm-hmm. And when you became an Oiler, I remember, like, kind of the bio on you was that, like, you're a big guy, you can play a lot of minutes, but you weren't that physical. That was, like, when you came to the Oilers, what we heard. Yeah. But then I remember watching you, and maybe it's just what I was looking for and wanted to see, but, like, it seemed like you changed kind of who you were as a result of playing with Steve Staios.
Oh, for sure.
And Jason Smith and the rest of those
you
legends.
know, like, at that time, our team, I don't think was that skilled. Like, we were kind of more, like, gritty and...
Please don't say we were rebuilding, Laddie, because that's very hard to hear.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
So we were rebuilding.
Let's stay away. But we didn't do good at all, you know, that year especially, but even just experiencing the entire year in the NHL and the guys I had around me, you mentioned the names, Steve Staios, Sean Horkoff, Jason Smid, Chopper, Itamaro. Yeah, it's just, it really, at that time, it really opened my eye what it takes to be professional. Like, I always say it in all my interviews, like, when did you learn to be professional? Like, I thought I was professional until I arrived here in the NHL and I saw these guys around me, how they carry themselves, like what it takes. Like, all of them, like, just such a warriors, you know, especially these guys that was kind of like the leadership group. Yeah, just priceless.
And Stevie Staios, like, he'd had a tough upbringing, right? He had he earned his way in the NHL. He wasn't rich.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Everything that guy had, he's earned.
He earned, and he took me under his wing and
taught you that kind of culture, right?
Yes, like, great guy, great family. You know, he brought me over to his house, meet his family, and just a great guy. Like, I can't thank him enough. You know, just great professional, just hardworking. Didn't take shit from anyone, you know.
He's
really great. He had
player.
A fucking switch in his head, fucking, like, beat you. Like, would do anything for a team, you know. And, like, me as a kid playing with him, like, where's often
he taught you what it meant to be an Oiler, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
and do you remember what fight was it where you got into a fight? I can't remember who, and we were watching it, and then you beat a guy up, and then Staios came over and patted you on the head. And I remember thinking, like, oh my God, he's transferring all of his Jedi knowledge to him.
I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I don't remember the fight either.
But he came over and was, like, congratulating you.
Oh, he was always, like, anything, and he would, like, stand up for me too, because like, I had no idea, like, who certain, like, fighters or, like, tough guys are, you know. And
did you pay that forward towards the end of your career with Calgary? Was there guys that you were like, hey, I'm going to Steve Staios you and show you the ropes now, my little friend?
It was here when I had, like, Jeff Petrie, I play with him, so, like, I was trying to show him, like, what, you know, in Calgary.
He didn't
not
seem
really.
to
We had,
listen
like,
too
older,
much to learning how to play gritty, though.
No, but he's different kind of player.
Yeah.
But, like, just be a professional and working hard and, you know, doing stuff, playing with your role. Like, Petey's role wasn't being gritty and stuff like that. He's a puck moving defenseman, so play your role. Don't try to be something you're not. And that's, you know, just know your role on the team and be a good teammate, be part of the team and try to help the team to reach the goal. And I learned that from possibly, you know, some of the best guys I could, and trying to transfer it. Now I'm older, so I play in Czech. I'm playing with a 20-year-old guy, and, you know, hopefully he can make a next step and play, I don't know, with NHL, but even in Europe, somewhere else, because he's got the potential, and I'm trying to. He trains with me the entire year. Like, he was kind of this lazy piece of shit guy, fucking bad attitude, and they put me with him, and I think it changed for him a little bit. I'm really hard on him, though, like, almost to the point I would fucking like to rip his head off sometimes. But he trains, he listens, and his career kind of took off, and now he's, like, full time in our league, and hopefully he's gonna take the next step next year.
I'm just rewinding in my head Jay to Laddie earlier being like, yeah, my dad was mean to me and it was old Iron Curtain shit. And then you're like, well, I'm sure mean to these kids, these little bastards. Maybe it's the only way it works.
They need it.
Maybe you know what it takes. That's the only way it works.
It's honestly, like, obviously, if he wouldn't be mentally strong enough, you would have to go about a different way. But I know he's very confident in himself. So he needs fucking have like a stick.
See, and you have the position to be able to tell people that. You played like in the real Battle of Alberta times, right? Like we're just looking right now to fight with you and Giordano, right? Like on the team that you played with, there was like Theo Peckham, Zach Stortini, McIntyre was on that team.
Yeah.
You had Smith. Like these, like there was a lot of scraps, right? Like,
oh yeah. Talk
about the Battle of Alberta for just a minute. Like when
that
you were
was
on
nothing better
our
than
side.
yeah. That was like that everybody was like preparing me for Battle of Alberta, but fuck, until you play that game, it's like nothing can really prepare you. It was fucking mayhem sometimes.
Was it shocking right after the first game?
Yeah,
you played?
because like fucking scraps, brawls, like all like fuck you matches almost after every face off. That was the real Battle of Alberta.
Yeah,
like, with fighting and like huge hits. I think Dion Phaneuf was still on their team, and everybody fucking hated him in Edmonton. And like,
yeah,
our team
And he's
fucking
from
hated him, and like, really good player, fucking physical, you know.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, like he took a lot of heat, like from the bench, like everybody yapping at him, and so he was yapping back, and you know, obviously Iggy, fuck.
They were tough teams.
Hell of a fucking player, but I remember always sitting in the locker rooms like, just let him fucking sleep. Nobody talk to fucking Iggy, because when you wake him up, it's like a fucking sleeping bear.
Really?
Yeah, like fuck, when you rattled him and like fucking he would have fight, he would fucking end up with goal and 2 apples, like every fucking time. When you let him sleep, like he was like, you know, just trying to like, maybe he's gonna fucking take
the happy positive guys that you gotta watch out
and
for,
then you,
right?
Yeah, and then you fucking like woke him up, and fuck, that guy was the total package. Like fuck, like one of the best I play against, and really hard to play against. I always try to yap at him. Like we scrapped once too, probably highlight of my fighting career, scrapping him, and super.
How did it go? Who won?
I don't know. I think pretty even. Actually, I did good. Surprisingly, I did good.
Yeah.
I was very happy with myself. It was, I think, like 50-50, I'd say. Very strong guy. I think he wanted to kill me. He was screaming at me even after the fight, I'm going to fucking kill you. Like he must have hated me, because I was always chirping him and shit. And nothing like, whatever happens on the ice fucking happens on the ice. Unless you're totally disrespectful, fuck it, you know. Like I have no problem taking you for a beer.
So I know you're pro athletes. Everybody says, you know, like I know they get nervous before games. Like after you played in your second Battle of Alberta game, like was it a game that you like thrived on, or would you get like kind of nervous before, or did you with those games you got up for and were like excited about?
Excited.
Yeah,
it was
good.
insane. For sure, I like to play that Battle of Alberta here in front of the fans.
Yeah,
you know,
of
like
course.
But even there, like it was just fucking crazy. Like fight, like it was just nonstop for fans too. The fans were so into it. You know, now the Battle of Alberta, obviously there is some physicality and component to it, but it's still like the NHL is changing. You know, it's more about speed, skill, and they're trying to take the fighting away. Which I don't totally agree with that. Like those like old Battle of Alberta, and even before my time, those were the real battles of Alberta, and I think fans enjoyed to watch it. They were really into it.
So I pulled up the polling results of your fight against Iginla and on hockeyfights.com, and they voted 51% you, 28% him, and 20% draw.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God,
that
yes!
means, that means the internet is undefeated. That means you kicked Iggy's ass.
Yeah.
Super cool. Now the following,
I would never say kick his ass because I respect him. But
you can't. We can't.
Yeah.
We're the fans. We're on your side.
Thank you.
Now, one question I'd like to ask in terms of the grittiness of the game. Now, being a Czech player coming over to North America, was like grittiness and like contact always part of your game before you came over? Or is this
Never.
something you learned once you got here?
Never. I would never even chirp anyone. Never. Like honestly, coming over here and it's like, especially the first couple of years, it was like, fuck, what the fuck is going on? And playing with Stevie Staios, like he was fucking, or Jason Smith. Like Jason Smith, he had that fucking look in his eyes, like the crazy fucking eyes, Gator. fuck me. I was scared, like terrified of him. Like, and he had like superhuman strength almost. Like he was so mean too. Like when he gets you in a corner, like back in the day, like he could have, really punished people. Like, fuck, it wasn't fun. And Stevie, the same thing. And it, like, you see that and you try to apply it in your game, and like changing my style of the game coming from Europe to here, like I had to. Some guys don't do it. For some guys, it works right away. Playing the styles they like grew up with, it didn't happen for me. I know I had to change it a little bit to be fully part of the team and be on an everyday basis in the lineup. So I changed it and I played more like those guys, like being physical. I had to get lots stronger over through some off seasons and and be physical. And my dad was physical defenseman in Czech. He was a little guy, but like kind of stocky guy, and so I didn't have problem. I guess it was in my genes, or I had no problem.
Was your dad a physical player?
Yeah, but like shorter, stocky, but he was. Everybody keeps.
But had the crazy look, like.
Yeah, he gets fucking switch too in his head. Yeah, I'm not as crazy as he is. Even though they call me psychopath in the locker room in Czech, because apparently I have a loose screw too.
Is that one of the differences between like a global professional hockey player and an NHL player? Is just like you have to have that killer switch that like if someone high sticks you in the balls, you need to put your like almost like you're the guy who's been in jail for 20 years. If anyone tries to fight you, you're to fucking kill them.
Yeah, like, and you cannot really think, you cannot be scared or think, oh, what if I'm gonna get beat up? So what? You're gonna get beat up, so what? It's still you showed up, and fucking even the guy who's gonna beat you up, he's gonna have a lot of respect just because you showed up. Like, I think about it like that. But like you said, like coming from Europe, coming from Czech here, totally different mentality. Like when it comes to this, like being gritty, physical and stuff. And like I said, first couple of years, it took me some time. But having guys like I mentioned around me and seeing what they do, priceless.
I remember you getting tougher like every year. Smid got tougher. Smid got meaner. Smid got angrier. You don't go into the corner with Smid. He's going to stick you in the nuts.
Yeah, and it's still until now. Like I play more. I think it comes with the league. So I trying to play more skill and more with the puck. But when somebody fucks with me, I don't let them. Even though if like I don't care. I don't care. You can beat me up. You can be stronger, whatever. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction to fucking like walk all over me. Fuck that.
I watch a lot of prison documentaries, and that's how you make it on the yard. You have that fucking attitude, and you're like, everybody's gonna fuck with me in my cell block. It's gonna go down.
Honestly, it's like some of the like star players in the Czech league, like they, like you fucking shake hands after every fucking game.
Oh really?
Which is a fucking dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
And like I'm like buddies with some of them, but they're like they don't even want to shake my hand. I'm like fucking like I'm shaking his hands like fucking get over it. Like, he's like you're a fucking psycho. Like fuck, like you're threatened.
Is that like the echo of Steve Staios in your brain?
I honestly I black out, man. Like almost like I'm to the point that like I have no oxygen and like I black out and then I like wake up. It's like what the fuck happened? And like I'm screaming at people or fucking like grabbing their faces. Like,
can you play men's league or no?
No.
I've heard from lots of, like, not lots, but like some NHL guys are like, I want to go, I want to play with my buddies, but some idiot sticks me and I'm just going to kill him and I'll black out and I'll wake up and he'll be dead on the ice. And
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
I could, fuck. It's just like, you still have that same mindset. Even if you're fucking 50, 60, you're going to have the same mindset. It doesn't go away. As soon as you get on ice, you want to fucking win. And if somebody fucks with you and you're that kind of person that doesn't like to be fucked with.
Who was it, Jay, at the Alzheimer's tournament? Was it Wendell Clark?
Wendell Clark, yeah. So Wendell Clark, just legendary, don't fuck with hockey player.
I love that guy.
In a men's league, some like once again, like
playing the Alzheimer's fundraising tournament,
charity tournament.
Like for charity, rich people are playing in this tournament.
A guy is like, I'm playing on the ice with Wendell Clark, so I have to play tough with him, and is like pestering him and like kind of takes him into the boards, and Wendell just turns around and like cross checks him and separates the guy's shoulder and like was gonna just beat the
It's
shit
like the
out of him
old
till he-
lion, right? Like you see, he got fucked with one
He had
last
enough.
time, right? Yeah.
He's hardwired, exactly. Like he's still like he's probably 60 and like still just he's got that switch and the guy just kept
I
pushing.
totally agree with it. Fucking.
I love it.
Obviously,
So
you don't want to
badass.
hurt. You don't want to
but-
hurt anybody, but
No.
don't fuck with me.
But that's
man.
what it took to get to the NHL
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
to survive in the NHL and then to thrive in the
exactly.
NHL.
And
You
he was
can't
a
turn
hell
that
of he
shit
was a
off.
hell of a player.
Oh god,
Greedy
legendary.
as fuck.
I remember
No.
watching Wendell Clark do that. Just like turned around and just dropped this guy, and everyone in the arena is like, "Oh shit!" It was like they brought the NHL legend onto the
Yeah.
ice to play, but then the NHL legend remembered he's alive, and, like ate one of the sheep. Right?
I love it.
That's
I love
a guy who created his own space on the ice because you knew if you came within his little circle, just like Messier, you're going to get fucked up. So, you know, like I said, I'm old school. Like one of our sites is hockeyfights.com, so I still love I'm a traditionalist when it comes to the sport. But to kind of talk to you, and this is like one of the big reasons why like I'm kind of fanboying here is like I love the way you played for the Oilers. Like how you came in from a rookie, getting that confidence under Staios and the other guys to like want to fight, and all of a sudden become like a legit fighter in the league. My question to you is, in your opinion, who was the toughest guy you fought? Because I've looked at your list, your fight card. There's some good names in there.
I'd say Nolan.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. And I didn't know. I didn't know much about him. He I think he dropped me, dude. That was a fucking not a mistake because he tried to rock Eberle.
Yeah.
And Abby fucking like surprised him with like Nolan fall down. I was like, fuck, but you don't touch our top player. So I fucking went up.
I respect that,
He
by the way.
fucking
That's in
dropped
short
Mets.
supply in 2019 Oilers talk.
man.
Someone will defend the team.
And holy fuck, I think he was switching hands. Fuck, like I don't think I got a fucking punch in. He was fucking tough.
Well, you know,
I lost.
Hockeyfights.com has you.
Sometimes those votes are wrong.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, there was 96 votes and 92% of them were for Jordan Nolan.
Oh, for sure. I don't doubt
But
that.
you beat up Iggy, and that's all that fucking matters. Battle of Alberta, baby.
Yeah,
So that's him. Nolan's the toughest.
and Mike Brown was too.
Oh yeah. Now, one fight we have to bring up, and it was an interesting one. And I think it led to a melee. Was in New York against Sean Avery.
Yeah, fuck. Don't. Oh fuck.
Sean Avery's been a polarizing guy on social media these days.
When you fought Sean Avery, you made my week. I
But
was so excited that week.
I was so fucking disappointed because it wasn't really a fight. Like he.
But you stood up. You went in.
But did he ever really fight anybody?
Because he jumped you, didn't he?
Yeah, he dropped me, but it was like he told me let's go next shift. So I start turning as I'm gonna go change, and then I see that he's dropped mitts. So I dropped them too, but I was so stupid. I shouldn't have fucking dropped them. I should fucking just ducked at that time. Because as soon as I dropped them and I start turning back, he fucking dropped me.
So in real weasel way, he got you.
Yeah.
He told you next shift.
I guess, but there was like, it was my stupidity. Like I should have known fucking this.
Always be ready?
Sean Avery, be fucking ready. Like
yeah.
I was stupid. I think it was like coward way, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for your well-being and
for knowing who you're standing next
so
to.
he did it smart. I was fucking dumb, and like he dropped me. I don't think it was very fair. I wish fucking.
He jumped you. It was completely cheap.
But I asked him to fucking fight.
Yeah.
And after he said fucking no, let's wait. I fucking started turning, and then fucking gloves off and fucking.
Is that
I was
what
so amped up though? I remember just being like, get in there, Smid. Fuck that guy up.
I was for like 2 weeks. I was so fucking mad.
Is that one moment in your career that you really kind of like still look back at and just it like
fuck yeah
makes you just sweat?
And he retired the next year.
And that was my follow-up question. Do you still want to get your revenge?
No, I'm over it. But
rides his bike a lot.
That year, I love his fucking Instagram.
He rides his bike a lot in New York. Go park in a bike lane.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
You gotta serve that revenge cold. You gotta wait another 10 years and then just be walking through Central
Celebrity
Park.
hockey tournament.
Just like a drop.
Boom, Sean Avery. Now we're even, bitch.
But he's funny. Yeah, he's funny. I heard he writes his own blog or something. I don't know. He's a smart guy. He's funny on Instagram. I don't know. I think he writes some stuff. I don't know. He's funny. He's I don't know. I have no hard feelings towards him at all. And
It happens. I mean, in the
it happens.
I
think it was my problem.
I like how you take responsibility for that. To be honest with you,
Yeah, 'cause
Honestly,
I didn't
most people would be like,
initially.
anything.
Yeah,
I didn't
most people would be like,
initially.
he suckered me, and I'm never gonna forgive him. Like, and the fact that you look at it as like your fault.
But you have to
is kind
fucking
of-
you have to fucking know what kind of player he is, you know. And,
Well,
and
totally,
like,
no, like,
and I asked him, and then he was smart. I was fucking dumb, you know. And it was at that time I was fucking pissed off, like really, really pissed off. I wanted to fucking murder him.
Yeah.
But I got over it. Like the season ends, like fuck, you know, whatever, you know. It was kind
Let
of
it be.
cowardish way, but fuck, I should have known better.
It reminds me of just like you're saying you should have known better, and this is unrelated to you but related to the Oilers when Rafi Torres knocked out Jared Stoll with that hit. This is I think they're both on different teams. I think Stoll was in LA and Rafi was in I think San Jose at the time. And Stoll's big thing was just like, you know what? Like, I know he's my buddy, but I should have known he was on the ice because I should have been prepared for something like that coming my way.
Oh fuck, Rafi had Stolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Like Rafi, he's not looking at fucking like who you are or like if you're buddies. Like Rafi, fucking if he sees you, if he saw you were fucking in some like a bad spot or he had a chance to fucking annihilate you. Yeah.
Is that just he couldn't turn it off? Just
No.
did not turn it off. Or just didn't care.
I respect it. Like
Yeah.
he made some questionable hits. I'm
Yeah.
not defending those,
And we're thankful for some of them.
but fucking I respected the way he played. Like
Yeah.
fuck, he didn't give a fucking like he would drop mitts and like fuck. He was crazy too.
Yeah.
He was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I was fucking scared of him too. He had the fucking switch. He had a switch. Hell of a guy again. Yeah.
So I guess this kind of sadly all leads to the next chapter.
Now hold on, because we gotta pay bills here, laddie. Right? This shit ain't free. This magic ain't free. We gotta do ads. We did our first ad at the 15-minute mark, but it was really like the 30-minute mark. And we're supposed to do our second ad at the 45-minute mark, but we're like an hour 15.
Oh.
We're not even slowing down.
It's a very corporate
However,
podcast.
This is the ad we do where he talks about getting custom suits, and he always tries to work it into the conversation.
Ladislav Smid is a guy who's worn a few different suits in his day, I imagine. They're always looking good, always looking sharp. The man is stylish.
Yeah.
I've been Googling. Suit game was strong.
Oh, nice.
Part of me wonders if maybe some of those came from our friends at Indochino.
Oh, nice. Ever had an Indochino suit? Or are you
Never.
a Hugo Boss with a side of Ferrari?
No. What am I? I have some Armani.
Did you ever do like a bespoke suit?
I have Sam Abu Hassan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He did some of my suits, and now I'm a. When you have body like mine, you can go like anything.
Whoa. I have seen.
It's all about the
this,
hanger.
and I am going to swing this back to Indochino, but I have seen a shirtless Ladislav Smid, and my God, is he on the apps?
Pull yourself together,
All
Jeff.
I'm saying,
I told you,
Thank
I'm
you.
fanboying
Thank you.
here. This
Thank
guy
you.
is a
Jay's
ripped
right.
See,
A
motherfucker.
lot
Shirtless
of
Ladislav
my
Smid.
teammates can confirm that. They know that usually the top 3 body on any team, basically.
Jay is right. They would need to get some more material.
Ask Struddy.
Oh, Struddy knows.
Ask Struddy.
Of course, Struds knows.
He had a decent old man body.
So one thing that Indochino does, Laddie, is they put a customized embroidery inside. Jay got Hope Will Never Die on the inside of his suit.
My next one will say number 5, Smid forever.
If you were going to put
I'm
something...
coming for you, Sean Avery. Give me 10 more years.
right.
You can write
Yeah,
down the
man.
inside.
If you're going to put something on the inside of your suit, is there like a quote or a thought or something that you might put, like a motto that you live by, that you would put on the inside of your
Takes
suit?
one to know one.
Fuck.
Just show up.
No. Nothing. Just lottie-dottie, probably.
Traded,
Everybody
traded
lottie-dottie
straight
Lottie
across
like
for
the party,
Pronger.
yeah.
Hey, traded straight across for Pronger, 1 for 1.
Yeah, the trade was 1 for 1.
1 for 1 for
Maybe that's a pretty
Pronger.
good idea.
Head on over to Indochino.com, get yourself measured up, customize your suit, maybe even put Ladislav Smid, maybe an embroidery of his face.
Yeah, that'd be good luck.
That'd look really nice.
Yes.
Something
My
really
abs.
nice on the
Down
inside.
my abs.
Oh,
yeah.
I would love to get a tattoo of your abs over my abs, and then I would go shirtless in my Indochino because I have an Indochino suit, and because it's tailored so well, I might be able to look like I have your physique.
How? Well, that'd be some sort of special suit.
I told you the amount of measurements they take.
No offense, like you're all right.
The
but there's
amount of
no Laddie
measurements
Smid.
they
Or you
take
could just
and the
train
fo-
when you're hungover, and then you train all the time and have somebody behind you
Well,
with a belt.
there's a reason why one of
That's
us
the
made
thing.
the NHL and one of us didn't.
Someone
Who is
has
the
talent
most,
and he put in
this
the
is
work.
like tangentially what we're talking about. Who's the most jack player you played with or against the
That's
entire
not
season?
named Ladislav Smid.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan. Fuck, I cannot say it. He's gonna be.
And I can't believe you just asked it.
If he's gonna,
No one's gonna
listen to this.
No one's gonna listen to this. Don't worry.
He's a hard worker.
He's jacked.
He's a hard worker. He almost looks like a fucking juice monkey, man. Giordano. He's fucking ripped. That
Really?
guy. Fuck, he's a beast. He's a fucking beast.
Just like a
Beast.
fitness guy.
Yeah, like I was surprised I beat him in a fight. I was surprised because when I saw him shirtless, I was like, fuck, this guy is a fucking machine.
It's crazy that he went to Russia and then came back and was as good as he was. Hey?
That's my top 3 players I respect the most.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's like 38 or 36, and he's a
36.
Norris candidate.
He better fucking win it. He better fucking win it. There's like.
You arguably should.
I
no doubt.
I would agree.
Like Brent
now, but I
Burns
mean,
had a great year, like most points, but when you look at it as a total package as a defenseman, that's what you should vote for as a defenseman, right? Norris Trophy.
Yeah.
He did it all. Fucking
All I know
second
is-
and points, fucking hits, blocks, fucking locks, a lot of fucking minutes. He's a leader on your team, and he's fucking 35, 36? Fuck me, that's no brainer.
All I know is that I'm looking at hockeyfights.com and I see Ladislav Smid fighting Mark Giordano to an overwhelming majority win for number 5.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
That's all I know.
I'm gonna fucking text him too. He always claimed that he fucking beat me in that fight.
Hockey Fights doesn't lie unless we decide it doesn't change
Is
the
it
results.
mentioned that I have fucking swine flu too that time? Fuck me, I was so fucking
You
sick.
fought on swine flu and won?
Yeah, I won.
That's
yeah.
gangster.
That's yeah.
Sorry, Gio.
Sorry, buddy,
man.
but
You couldn't even beat
I
up a
respect
kid
you a
with
lot,
swine
Gio.
Maybe you could take one of the 10,000 cutout heads they have home with you or something.
One time we did this promotion with ATB, the bank, and they gave us like 10,000 Jordan Eberle heads with little eyes, and then like 10,000 Giordano ones in Calgary were supposed to give them out, but we kind of fucked up.
no, we gave up most of them. They just
Some
gave
of
them so many.
but 10,000.
Exactly.
It was like,
10,000.
too
What's
many.
10,000
And we were cleaning
anythings?
out the basement down here, and we spilled the boxes, and there was Geo heads everywhere, and it was fucking terrifying.
So if you have a good prank you'd like us to pull or
If you
something,
need a
or you'd
Geo
like to
prank,
pull,
we got some masks.
we got some
for it.
Geo heads.
I'm like, good God, the Geo heads are everywhere.
Well, all this geo talk is a great segue to talk about, and so
Yeah, it's our friends at Indochino.com.
Indochino.com.
Good ad, Indochino.
Now, I call these the dark days because you left Edmonton. They're not necessarily dark days just because I'm a diehard Oilers fan, even though there's some out there that might not believe that. But you got traded to Calgary.
Can I just interject very quickly and say I was fucking pissed you got traded because you, and this is the Oilers fucking us around,
Yes.
not you, but you signed a 4-year deal. And I think to myself, yes, Laddie Smid is a good fucking Oiler.
I was thinking the same thing.
And we got 4 more years of Laddie Smid
Yes.
hockey, and the world is right, and we might be rebuilding, but we got some good guys on the back end. The goodest guy being you in my mind.
Thank you.
And then come November, you're fucking traded.
This is why this is the dark days. This is the decade of darkness.
What?
We were doing silly moves like this.
Were you rattled? Be honest. You can tell us now.
Yeah, well, like it's part of the business, so you got to be ready for anything. And the way things were going, yeah, I was kind of prepared I could be. But traded to Calgary, be honest, I was fucking shocked. I didn't know that, great city, team was good, their management, like all world-class people in Calgary. But I didn't know that at that time, and always hated anything to do with Calgary, right?
When you were doing the
God
4
love
years,
you.
and I respect that immensely, because now I think for too many people it's like, whatever, there are another 31 teams in the NHL, who cares? It matters. When you were doing the 4-year deal, obviously they were like selling you on like the long-term vision of the next 4 years of Oilers hockey, right? And you bought in.
Of course.
You wanted to sign a long-term deal.
Yeah, I did, and like I saw all the pieces, and I liked it, and I felt comfortable. I wanted to start family here, and everything was going well.
Yeah.
Signed a 4-year deal. Fucking things are good, and then boom.
Jeez.
Fuck. And in Calgary, and I was again like one of those moments in your life that feels like almost surreal, like you want to pass out, and it's like. Yeah, McT called me and it's like, yeah, you're traded to Calgary, and it's. I think he said like it's like you're gonna be really close to Edmonton, and like with your
What the fuck,
on.
Mac T?
I was
Yeah,
like, what
give
the
me a
fuck,
break,
man?
man.
What are you trying to sell me on Calgary?
You can trade me to
Because-
fucking China, man.
Yeah.
No, but it was part of the business, and fuck.
Super rare that an Oilers traded
Steve
to Calgary.
Staios got traded there too.
But super, super rare that a physical defenseman who's like a Steve Staios got. I mean, I think when Staios got traded, as I recall, this
Well, Brian Burke was there, so he knew me.
true. That's why
He knew me, and
He wanted you back.
Yeah, I think he liked me. I think he still likes me,
He likes anyone who plays your style.
and I like Brian. Great guy. I
the
fucking,
new Don Cherry.
fuck.
Hey, they just got him on sports now. They're waiting.
Yeah,
for
he's just in waiting.
New Don Cherry.
Oh fuck yeah, pretty much.
It's amazing they got him to wear a tie.
Yeah.
But it had to be a mindfuck, though, that Mac T was the guy that told you are now an NHL player, and then fast forward down the line, he's the one that moves you down to Calgary.
Yeah, pretty fucked up. Yeah, pretty fucked up. I was sour about it for a few days.
If you read our website, if you read Oilers Nation that day, we were raging.
Yes.
There was
Raging.
no everybody was Team Smid. There was no other team.
It broke my heart, to be honest.
Did it?
I was an Oiler, like fucking through and through, man. Oiler, and yeah, it was a tough fucking day.
Did part of you, when you arrived in Calgary, go like, "I'm gonna fuck this franchise up from the inside. I'm gonna do it for the Oilers"?
Not at all,
I'm
but
gonna break all the workout gear.
dude, like when you walk in the fucking locker room and you see fucking Giordano there, it's like fuck. I wanted to like fucking 2 weeks ago. I wanted to fucking kill that guy. It's like around and they hated me too. And Gio even admitted to me, it's like, I thought honestly you were the biggest fucking piece of shit douchebag fucking on the ice.
Respect.
And I was like, same for you, man. Like fuck, but he said like, you're actually fucking good guy, nice guy, fucking respectable guy. I was like, yeah, fucking like, doesn't matter what you do on the ice, like you're trying to win. Fucking I do anything to fucking win. But they accepted me. It was awkward for like a fucking month.
Was
I'm
it?
telling you, yeah, it was awkward. I'm not gonna lie, it was awkward.
No.
And I think for some guys on the in their locker room too, it was awkward. They battled me for a long time, and I was always that fucking guy in your face, piece of shit, fucking that would do anything to win.
I think there's like two groups of NHL players. There's like NHL players who are like, I'm a professional athlete. I've trained really hard. I'm in the best league in the world. All teams in the NHL are good. We'll see what happens. And then there's some people who come to the NHL and they're like, I'm an Oiler. I'm a Flyer. I'm a Sabre. And I think that you were like an Oiler.
Yeah, I bought into it. Like
Yeah.
I really bought into the whole Oiler thing. And
What did you, at the time, we're joking in the beginning of this podcast about Bob Nicholson being asked what the culture of an Oiler is, and he fumbled, and that's okay. He's a good, nice guy. But like, to you at that time, or even now, like, what does being an Edmonton Oiler mean? When you say like I bought in, what did you buy?
I bought
in?
it.
Steve Staios taught me to
I wanted
block
to
a shot in
fucking.
my face.
I wanted to, like, I want to win a fucking Stanley Cup, whatever it takes. Like, doesn't matter. Like I changed my style of hockey, bought into my role. So fuck, I was what? I was hitting. I was being tough to play against. Defensive defenseman blocking shots. Fucking, you would have to I would fucking block it with my fucking face. That's buying into means like you risk your fucking own health and you do anything to fucking beat the other team. Like, nothing else matters really.
Do you think that you see guys in the NHL who don't buy in, who kind of come and go, and then there's guys who buy in and stay? Is that like a big
difference.
dividing point for players though? Maybe
Yeah. Some guys fucking bounce around. Not all of them are like that. Some of them they're just
traded for whatever
reason, and but some guys, yeah, like you said, fucking you see two different kind of.
Can you tell as a veteran, like when you meet a rookie in whatever league, whether it's the NHL or the Czech league, or you like you have what it takes or you don't, pretty quick?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you can. But the guy I play with, I thought too, like fuck. He doesn't talent wise, he has it, he had it, but how he carried himself wasn't very like and stuff. It's like fuck it, no. But I guess you shouldn't judge too early, and I think I judged too early. People can change, but I think people can change at a young age. When you meet a guy like that when he's 28, 29, not a chance.
That's who he is.
That's who he is.
Jay?
Well,
your hand in the air like you just didn't care?
No, I didn't, but I'm happy to talk to Ladislav Smid because this is obviously very awesome for me.
Yeah.
Yes, Calgary. So obviously unfortunately, Calgary didn't go as planned because of injury.
Yeah.
Could you kind of walk us through kind of what happened, and just kind of talk us through that chapter?
I had one neck surgery when I was with the Oilers, but it kind of worked out pretty good timing because I only missed like 2 months of the season, and then I was able to start the next season. But I thought, or everybody thought, the surgery went well, and I didn't have problems with my neck for next 5 years or 4 years. So everything was great, and then when I arrived in Calgary, I finished the season, and then the next year I got hit in Pittsburgh, and I was starting to experience the same things like before the first surgery, losing feeling in my fingers, losing muscle like on my upper body, and kind of like I knew something was wrong. So I flew to see my surgeon in LA, and he did MRI, and apparently the first surgery, the bone segment, or like the vertebrae where the surgery was, didn't heal as planned. So he needed to do another surgery, which was bigger one, longer one, longer recovery for that. Took like 9 months. And even after that, I think I came back too early, and I played some games, but it didn't feel right.
Was it you wanting to try to push to come back early?
Yeah, kind of thing. And when I came back, the season was already going, and then I was healthy scratch, and then I was trying to push it too hard, and it was hard time. And then finally another hit, and I felt like really weakness in my hands, and talked to the doctor, and they shut me down for the rest of the year. And the next year was my last year of the contract, and we just decided I thought at that time I'm gonna retire because, the health is more important than. At that time I had two.
Yeah, and when you're
babies.
forcing yourself back, I mean, there's probably a part of you that's thinking, like, I don't want this to be the end.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna prove to myself and prove to everybody else this doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
And then that hit happens.
It was pretty dark time in my life, but like I said, family comes first. When I look at my two little babies, like, I don't want them to have crippled dad just because he was trying to prove somebody or be a hero.
Yeah, you want to be able to play with them when they're 5-6 years old.
You want to be able to take the belt to your kids like your dad did to you, right?
Yeah. Show my little guy needs it, but I'm more Canadian now, so I don't touch them.
So not to like dwell too much on the, but what was the exact injury?
Herniated disc between my C6, C7, and so the first surgery they put a plate and screws from up front to hold it, and piece of bone from my hip. Yeah, kind of slide it through, and it was supposed to heal and be like as a one piece, but that didn't happen. Apparently there was too much cartilage, so the segment was still moving and was pushing on my nerve and apparently spine. So they went from the back and then like enforced the whole thing with wire and more screws. So now it's like when you look at my fucking X-ray, I'm like a fucking RoboCop.
You're like Iron Man.
Seriously.
Wow.
It's all white at this segment. It's the doctor saw it in Czech. He's like it's very like well done, and like I can tell they did it because you're a hockey player.
And where did they do the surgery?
In Los Angeles. Dr. Watkins. Yeah, he great guy, but he told me, he's like, this is a second surgery. If I have to do a third surgery on your neck, like it's gonna affect your life. So this second, and that was in my mind too. So when they shut me down for the rest of the year, and then we decided to take the year kind of, totally off and retire, good decision. I don't regret it. It was hard for sure, but can't thank enough the Flames organization, Brad and Brian. They helped me a lot. They let me do a little players development, a little scouting during the year. They let me fly to a farm team and watch some young guys and give them feedback, and they made me feel like still part of the organization. And And even the guys from the locker room, they included me in like a team parties and like dinners and stuff. And so I didn't really feel like I was on the outside.
Well, because once you come to peace with the fact that, like just playing for me is literally a hazard, like a risk every time. Like now not only are you losing that, but you're losing just the structure that you've had for 10 years, that going to the rink every day and hanging out with the same guys. And like, you feel like you're losing kind of like a family too, right? At the same time. And
like, honestly, any guy in the hockey is what they miss the most about hockey is probably the locker room.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's going on in the locker room with the buddies and like
you play hockey for 3 hours a night. You practice for like an hour, but you're in that room getting therapy with those guys. You guys are going out for lunches together. You're going for skates in the morning.
It's awesome. Like it's like I wish.
You wish everybody could have it. Right? I know. I think it's like, because you can tell if you've played like at 16, you know what it's like to just have a room full of guys and just like the camaraderie there, right? And just at a pro level, you can just amplify that by 10. And everybody, to have everybody get to go through that would be something else. I mean, I think a lot of people don't get to, and it's too bad.
Yeah, too bad, exactly.
All right, that's going to do it for part 1 here, boys. This is turning into a marathon sesh. So we're going to break this into 2 parts. Real Life Podcast for week 1. We'll be back next week, week 2, with Ladislav Smid.
Excuse me there. I just lost my train of thought.